Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of your Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another video for The Walking Dead universe. This one's going to be doing another Q&A video leading up to episode 4 of The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. We're going to talk about a new photo that was posted by the Pearl Thorne actress on Instagram yesterday, revealing that Rick may actually go back to the CRM. Alright guys, this one's going to be doing a review today, this one's going to be doing a review for The Walking Dead universe, and in today's video we're going to be doing another Q&A video for The Walking Dead leading up to episode 4 of The Ones Who Live this weekend, of course. We did a Q&A on Tuesday, now we're doing another one today, going through your comments, your questions, stuff like that. But I wanted to start today's video with a little bit of an interesting topic, which is that there was a photo released yesterday on social media, on Instagram, by Leslie, who plays Pearl Thorne, obviously, on Ones Who Live. And she posted a photo that I found kind of interesting. A few people were pointing this out to me, so I figured I'd kind of mention it briefly, is that there's a photo of her and Rick in their CRM gear on set, right? And at first, I didn't really think anything of it. I was like, oh yeah, you know, that's pretty cool. You got them on set, you know what I mean? We've seen that, you know, that's episode 3, pretty cool stuff. And then a few people were pointing it out, and then I kind of took a second and kind of realized it myself. That is not something we've seen before, because Rick has the red stripes on his armor, which of course we know that Beale promoted Rick. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So obviously the only thing that must mean is that Rick must eventually go back to the CRM. I was not expecting that at all, to be honest. I can't believe Leslie I can't believe Leslie posted that on her Instagram, but you know, I guess she didn't really think that was a big deal, but yeah, that pretty much confirms to us that Rick goes back, right? It's one of two things. Either Rick goes back, or he steals the armor from a high-ranking CRM soldier and goes in there and takes some of them out. You know, that could be it as well. But still, that's insane. That is absolutely insane. So we'll see what the whole thing is. We'll see what the deal is when the actual episodes come out. But Rick may go back, guys, which is not what I was expecting at all. So I kind of hope he doesn't. I hope he's out of there. But if he does, he does, I guess. You know, it's kind of something where I don't know if I'm gonna like it, to be honest, if Rick just goes back again. But you know, we'll see. We'll have to see how the story works out. I'm not going to judge it yet, but you know, definitely a little bit of a concern, I'd say, because I want Rick out of there now. You know, like, it was cool to see him there. It was cool to see what the place was doing to him, but now I want to see him, you know, on the outside, escaping with Michonne and stuff like that. I don't really want to see him go back there again, unless it's for the reason that he's going to go ahead and take out most of the higher-ups, and he wears that, you know, just in case, as like a cover-up, so he can put his helmet on and, you know, blend in. That's fine, but, you know, if it's actually because he's in there again and gets captured again, I don't know. Plus, wouldn't you think the CRM would kill him, you know? So it's like, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But again, we'll have to see. There's a lot of different possibilities, but I found that photo to be pretty interesting, to say the least. Starting off with Tyler for today with the first comment, who says that compared to some of the other spin-off characters that we've seen, Isabel, Armstrong, Croat, stuff like that, how does Pearl Thorne from Ones Who Live compare to those characters for you, Dan? She's not as good as Isabel. I wouldn't say that. I'd actually say she's a little bit better than Armstrong for me, though. I think her character is just a little bit more interesting. And I'd say that roughly she's somewhere in there, you know, between Armstrong and Croat. I still think Isabel is probably my favorite, like, spin-off character that lasts multiple episodes. Because my favorite spin-off character so far is probably Okafor, just because of what, you know, they gave him for that episode. But as an overall, like, long-term character, I would probably go Isabel is my favorite. But Pearl Thorne is good. She'd probably be somewhere after that, you know, because she is a really cool character, and I think that the actress really kills it in the role. I really do. So I'd say she's somewhere in there, you know. She's better than all Fear characters, I know that for damn sure, but, you know, I know some people may disagree with me on that, but I think she's already a lot better than pretty much everybody on Fear the Walking Dead, or World Beyond, that is, so there is that. But yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious to see what they got for her, if she's going to die this season, or if they're going to have her survive on it. Kind of a tough question, but we'll see. Next one comes from the CW, who says that, Dan, do you see Silas popping up in any way, shape, or form in The Ones Who Live? I leave the possibilities very small at this point, mostly because Rick and Michonne are out of the CRM now. The only way I could see Silas popping up in the show now is if you get a scenario where, let's say, Rick and Michonne are trying to escape, you know, and they're cornered in an alleyway for some random reason. and you get a CRM soldier that, approaches them, and Rick and Michonne are like, oh, yeah, lovely, we're screwed. They put their hands up. It's like, oh, great, lovely. And then the guy takes his helmet off, and it's Silas, right? And imagine if he even says, he's just like, go, I'll tell them I killed you. Go, I'll cover for you, That would be so good, because keep in mind, he couldn't help Dennis in World Beyond. Maybe now, the reason why they built him up in World Beyond so much to be this big hero that does something heroic is because he does, and it's in this show, and he actually tells Rick and Michonne, I'll tell them I killed you, you guys go, and from then on, Rick and Michonne are not being searched for. That'd be really, really cool. I don't know how they'll do it. Maybe like he helps them fake their death or something. But either way, I feel like Silas would come in clutch, and I feel like that's the only way you can do it, because I don't see any other scenario for Silas to show up. But I also feel like you kind of need to show Silas because they set it up at the end of World Beyond that he was a CRM soldier. So I don't feel like that was put there for nothing, but again, we'll have to see, because otherwise I would have said let Silas, get away, with the rest of the kids. So there's got to be a reason why he's in there in the CRM, and hopefully we'll see why at some point soon, Next one comes from Hello, who says that, Dan, do you think that Rick and Michonne will make it back, but he'll tell everybody to evacuate Alexandria before the bombing occurs? Yeah, I could see a scenario, because I do think Alexandria is getting destroyed. I just don't think that many of our people are going to be there when it actually happens. I feel like it's going to be a season 3 Welcome to the Tombs, finale type situation, where, you've got the governor that attacked the prison, but then when he got there, nobody was there, and it was kind of anticlimactic for him. That's what I feel like this is going to be. It's going to be like, oh, CRM thinks they're doing all this stuff, but it's like, nobody's running out of their houses, and you could even have a scene where it's like, some of the soldiers are in the helicopters bombing the hell out of Alexandria, and one of them could even say to him, like, where are all the people in the community? Why isn't anybody, running out of their houses, And then they kind of, they pick up on the fact, like, oh, crap, they're out there somewhere, and it's a bit of a war, and then there enters season 2, with them on the outside trying to keep a low profile, so the CRM don't find them. I think that'd be fantastic if they did a storyline like that. But, again, we'll have to see how it goes. Obviously, there's a lot of directions this could, all go into, but it'd be cool for darn sure. I'd love to see it. Next one comes from Maluten, who says that, Dan, do you think Elizabeth Kublik or maybe even Mason, General Beale's son, will be in The Ones Who Live? Now, Elizabeth Kublik, I kind of don't, to be honest. I feel like that character might even just be wrapped up, if I'm being completely real. Mason is one that I kind of demand, mostly because it's General Beale's son. Unless they kill him off screen, which would be really weird if they did that. Yeah, we got to get an interaction between them at some point. And that's why I say, like, a lot of people that mention, like, oh, Major General Beale, like, he's probably definitely going to die in the finale of season 1. It's like, well, no, I mean, he's got a whole son, we haven't even seen his relationship with his son yet, there's a whole bunch of things from General Beale that we still have yet to see, and they're not going to be able to cover that in 3 episodes, hell, 2 episodes, because I don't think General Beale's going to be in episode 4 that much at all, if at all, so yeah, no, we got to see more from General Beale. We got to see Mason. If we see Mason, I feel like it'll be in the finale at the most, as a kind of like a reveal or something. It'll be like, oh, that's the kid from World Beyond, stupid little idiot he is. And then, yeah, like I said, Kublik, I think is wrapped up. Yeah, I do think Kublik is done. Next one comes from Kaz, who says that, Dan, how would you feel if The Ones Who Live season 1 truly is a 6-episode limited event, and this really is the end of Rick and Michonne's story? We never see them again, etc., etc. Oh, man, I wouldn't like it. No, I would not like it at all. And I know some people may disagree with that. I just don't see a scenario where this could be the end of Rick and Michonne. There is way too much story that's being set up here for them to just conclude it, Rick clearly has a rivalry with Major General Beale that they're setting up, Rick clearly has a role within this whole CRM thing, and they're not going to be taking the CRM down within a couple episodes. There is way too much story to be told. There is way too much to go down. I would absolutely appreciate it if they would just tell us already that there's a second season. Because if this show really is the wrap-up of Rick and Michonne, that's fine. But you're going to have a lot of things to do. You got to have Morgan come in this. You got to have Daryl cameo in this at one point. And you got to make this a big deal, you got to make this show the true sequel of The Walking Dead. You know what I mean? So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what they do with it. You know, there is still time, but if this is the end of Rick and Michonne, yeah, no, there's no scenario where I'm gonna like that at all. I'm just gonna be honest about that. And then finally, the last one comes from Kobe, who says, Dan, do you see the Walking Dead franchise potentially ending in a movie at one point? I actually do, to be honest. I actually think the movie thing could still happen years down the line when they're ready to conclude this franchise, if they conclude this franchise. They could just do a movie to conclude Rick's story, you know? Like maybe the movie is still happening, but they're making The Ones Who Live as a setup, you know, and then they'll still do a movie. That could definitely happen, like an AMC exclusive film. You know, that easily could happen. It's just the question of, will that be the end of the franchise? I don't know, because it doesn't feel like they're wanting to end the franchise. You know, to me, it feels like Rick's story and Michonne's story will be wrapped up in some way, shape, or form here in a couple years, maybe at some point. But the overall franchise, I don't think. I think the franchise, to be honest, guys, could even still be around by the time I'm in my 50s. You know what I mean? And I'm clearly not in my 50s. So, a long time is what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, no, I'm telling you right now, I don't think this franchise is going anywhere anytime soon. Could we get a movie, though, to wrap up at least, like, Rick's part of the story in the franchise? Yeah, that'd be awesome, you know? Maybe with some of the other characters, you know, like Maggie Negan, you know, Daryl, stuff like that. I'm very interested to know why Beale would wait 6 years to attack based off of Dead City's timeline, but again, we'll have to see. That the timeline stuff is all over the damn place. It's so confusing. So anyway, guys, thank you all for watching. Of course, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy videos like this, make sure to click the subscribe button so you don't miss any of the videos of The Walking Dead. Be sure to follow me at Dan's The Walking Dead Reviews on Instagram, guys, and of course, I'll see you guys very soon for more videos of The Walking Dead universe. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.